Oh, here we go. So we're trying out our brand new thing. Here we are at the Put It in the Book show. Okay, if you want to lead off the show, start off the show for us, just send us a little video. That was Chelsea and Boots from Hickory, North Carolina. They flew from Hickory, North Carolina to the stadium to watch a Mets game. So remember,
That's awesome. Traveling Met fans. So if you take a video like that, go to the game, take a video like that, either by yourself, with a friend, with your wife, your girlfriend, your parents, whomever it may be. Put it up on our page, the Put It in the Books show Facebook page, and tag us, and we will possibly play that in the future for you as our opening to the Put It in the Book show. Let's go Mets.
Put it in the books!
The coffee toss that I miss and the Farace's going to pull his pants down clip of that opener always makes me laugh.
because I thought that he was going to pull his pants down on you. Well, listen, as you guys can see from our opener, we're missing one of our little cohorts here. Farace, he's doing something with the fam, having a good time, taking a minute off from sports. I don't know how he's going to be able to handle it, but I'm Rodriguez, my boy here, Lares, and Lares will be talking to you in a second, but producer Joe has finally come back to the show. We let him out the wall, so he's back there somewhere producing the show, doing what he does. So we're ready to start the show. Farace, we don't miss you. We hate you. Lares, how you been? What's going on?
Much better today. Like I can see better without that blinding forehead staring at me, Farace. Love you, Farace. Yeah. His kid is in the championship. Go, Adrian. Good luck.
Hopefully, good luck.
Well,
good luck. Even though you're not a Met, but
unfortunately, he's playing the Mets. But I mean,
he's playing.
The good thing is, Farace said that the coach on the other team is a Phillies fan. And he has to wear Met gear.
So there's a plus to that, right, Metsies? We put some hatred on somebody.
But
good.
Other than that, doing well. Definitely a needed win last night. If there's ever such a thing at this time of the year, last night was it. So doing much better today because of that.
Oh, I'm glad. We're going to talk about that win in just a second. I just want to check with Producer Joe. Producer Joe, what's going on? You all right? Nothing?
There he goes.
I can't hear him, so you're going to have to fill me in. I don't hear nothing.
He's at the bottom deck of the Titanic.
Oh, I'm here.
There he is. There he is. That last puff lasted a long time, huh? Diddy?
Yeah, it was a rough one, man.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you're back on the show. How you feeling?
I feel great. Thank you. Thank you very much. I feel great. And it's really sick. I gotta say, Liz, you're a sick man that you let your team affect your life, that you're miserable because your team has a 3. Okay, I was fucking miserable, man. I was ready to fucking I couldn't even watch sports.
All right, you see this?
This? I know. I heard it. I heard what I did. Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I was that upset.
Don't cast any stones, my brother. I've seen you. I know how you react to the Mets.
I know. I'm saying I was even worse. I was terrible. I wasn't even watching the games.
Well, if you weren't watching, you should have watched the game. It was a good game. Mr. Megill came out like a man.
Yeah, he did.
You should have been watching that game. I hope you were watching that game.
But then I put it on in the 5th when he folded up like a little leaguer.
Well, is that when we started talking, Lares?
Exactly, literally when I turned the game on, when we started talking, and you were praising him. I'm like, I gotta see. Let me see what's going on. There he is. Ball 4, ball
10
8,
days.
ball 12. No, it's all good.
What's 10 days got to do with it, Lares?
No, I said 10 Ks.
Oh, 10 Ks. Oh, 10 Ks. Yeah. The dude came out strong.
10 Ks in 4 1/3 innings is pretty good.
Yeah. So that's potential right there. That's telling me that you got the potential to be a star here. If you can do it one time, you can do it again. Everything is repeatable as long as you remember your mechanics and everything else that you did. And you actually came out as an aggressive pitcher. Lars, did you see that? I mean, looking at the guy's face, he looked determined.
He did. Listen, I don't ever like to see a pitcher go 4 2/3 and say he had a good start. But if there's ever a 4 2/3 that's a good start, it's this one. And if you think about it, the way he's performed in his last few games, everybody was already writing him off. So even though he only went, again, 4 2/3, it was a well pitched 4 2/3. So it's nice to see him getting back on the other end of the form in which he gets batters out. And 10 Ks is nothing to shake a stick at. He just needs to get that pitch count a little lower and go a little deeper. But
not in 5 innings, dude. 10 Ks in 5 innings is pretty good.
Yeah.
The only, like you saying, the only thing with that is, do you call a barely 5 inning outing a good outing nowadays? Yeah. I'm me, I'm hardcore, and I'm saying in the 5th inning, I'm just getting warmed up. By the 7th inning or 8th inning, you should be getting tired. However, that's how they are nowadays, right? That's the game.
It is 4 2/3 a little too low, but like I was saying, it's a really positive sign that he came back and performed that well for 4 2/3. And good job on Mendy pulling him, because he was just getting a lot of bad luck during that inning. Blew up here, grounded. Like, it was just a lot of bad luck.
Yeah, the mojo was off, right? You could feel the mojo had changed, and something was off. So
yeah,
Mendy does that a lot now. If you notice, just to take a quick 2-second diversion here on him, he's been really, really pulling the strings really well. Honestly, he's known when to take these guys out. He's left guys in when they needed to stay in, and even if they fail, he brings them back. Hey there, whoever that is, I can't tell, but give him a heads up. What's up? Message there.
Metropolis Jonathan's Megill 4 innings, 10 Ks is awesome. I totally agree.
For Megill, it is. Yes, absolutely. The fact that he's stayed in focus that long is amazing to me. So, but Mendoza has done a pretty good job at managing and pulling these guys out and managing the pitching staff, actually. So, so and here we are. Megill really made a case for himself to stay in that rotation, because, like you said, he was having a rough time. And the next guy that comes up, if Manaya, how do you say that? What's that?
Manaya.
Oh,
Manaya.
Manaya. Okay.
Manaya.
Manaya. Okay. If he comes back, then there's an odd man out, and it was going to be Megill. So I don't know what you think about that, but that's the guy that I'm putting in the bullpen, because everyone else has really performed well on this starting staff, and that's one of the big things that the Mets do have right now, a credible starting staff. Which honestly, I didn't think so. I don't know about you, Lars, but I didn't think that this staff was going to be this good. And it's all due, I think, to the pitching program.
Yeah. So two things, but first is to touch on what you just said, how great the pitching staff has been. I mean, let's think about what we all thought, not just you and I, before the season. Like, they're probably going to be good. I trust in what Stearns does, because he's proven that he deserves that trust. But it's really going to be our offense carrying the beginning of the season. And that really hasn't been the case. I mean, I know everybody's really down on the Mets offense right now, especially Soto, and we'll get into that. But they haven't been terrible, the offense. They just haven't played to their potential. But back to the original point, it's the starting pitching that's carried this team this far, 10 games over 500 at this point in the season.
Which you wouldn't have expected. You would have thought that the offense would have clicked in, because with the staff just didn't have the names. You had a guy from last year, that performed well, a young lefty that's starting to come up. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to praise him too much, honestly. But he's starting to become a quality, solid pitcher in the MLB. He's a solid pitcher right now with the potential to be a pretty good one. Okay, and you got Senga, who has a great ERA. He's only 4-3, but he's 4-3 because he's got that great ERA and that he's been in games and he's kept the team in games. So, a guy that pitches and stays in the games and keeps the team in the games and puts innings in, he may sometimes have a 500 record, but his ERA could be 1.43 or something like that, which I think Senga has. So you got him and you got Canning, dude. Who's this guy with the 94-mile-an-hour fastball that dips and slips and a lot of curves here, a lot of movement, a lot of change of speeds? This guy.
The Mets lab transformed him.
The Mets lab seems to be working, and Hefner.
And then
you know how I feel about him, but what a job he's doing, right?
I mean, he's no Ricky Bonus, but
Oh, good Lord.
But Metropoli, I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Producer Joe's favorite guy.
In terms of Clay Holmes, he said he'd put Clay Holmes in the bullpen because he's never pitched more than 70 innings in his whole career, and he's at 72 innings now. But I think he was a starter, right? Wasn't he in the minors or something like that?
I'm sure most of these guys were starters. Most of these guys were starters in the minors, and they either got converted to relief pitchers or whatever. But the point is that this is a guy, like you said, hasn't pitched more than 70 innings, and he's averaging his 5 to 6 innings now. He's starting to get deeper into games and learning how to manage a game where sometimes you don't have to throw 100 miles an hour on every pitch. That's what all these starters really have to learn. And I don't think they've learned it because they're basically 5 and 6 inning starters at the most of them. But, luckily for us, we have a pitching lab, and that pitching lab has done a really good job with the bullpen, Keith. What do you think about our bullpen?
Agree.
It's fantastic.
Brazoban is, wow. He's the best pitcher out there right now. Hands down, in my opinion.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good. What's he got, like a sub-1 ERA?
Yeah.
With over 25 innings or something like that. That's one of the stats I heard or something like that. But regardless of whatever it is, the kid is pitching well. He's pitching, again, one of my favorite words, aggressive. And if you listen to Mendy talk, okay, he's gonna use that word a lot. He's gonna be, the team is aggressive. We're gonna be aggressive on the offensive end and aggressive on the defensive end and try to make the plays.
Yeah.
And speaking of offense and defense, those are the two things that we've been kind of lacking a little bit. You're saying that the offense has been okay. I don't know how okay it is. What are we scoring here? 4 runs a game?
Okay, yeah.
Offensively?
We've been about average, league average is what I'm saying. Okay. It's not our expectations.
Well,
there's some batters in that lineup that are just way underperforming. One of them is not Lindor. One of them is not Alonso. But let's talk about Soto, right? Everybody's talking about how high his OPS is and everything else. But let's call it for what it is. He's not performing to expectation. I think he's in an adjustment period. Coming to the Mets, I don't care if you play for the Yankees. Coming to the Mets, you're under even more scrutiny with the Mets because Met fans are brutal. They are brutal until they love you, right? They love Lindor now, so all that's over. But Lindor went through the same thing, and he struggled for it, if you remember. And if you look at what Soto's doing this year, yes, he is doing the little things, but his last 10 games, he's batted 143 with 5 hits, 2 RBI, and 3 runs scored. That's not what we expect from him. So everybody's going to look at his salary. Yeah, exactly. And he hasn't had a multi-hit game in the last 14 games.
Well, you want superstar numbers, right?
Yeah.
That's what you want from this guy. You can only accept superstar numbers from this guy. But think about this. I look at it like this. There's the whole year there's ups and downs all the time with these guys. Okay, every player is going to have ups and downs, so that's going to happen throughout the whole year. So the thing that you have to look at for me is at the end of the year, did he live up to his average? Because we didn't pay him to perform better than what he's already performing at. We're paying him to live up to what he's been doing. Okay, first and foremost, start there. If you give us better numbers than that, great. But we got an all-star, a Hall of Famer, a potential Hall of Famer if he stays healthy. Okay, that guy is gonna represent the Mets forever. So we made an investment in him. We're not looking to worry about this year. it's going to be an adjustment year. Like you said, Lindor had the same problem. And look what we have now. A pretty freaking good shortstop, just like Soto. He's a pretty good player. But whether he's been hitting 300 and with 10 home runs, he contributes during each and every game. Because even in the Boston game, dude, he drove in a run, didn't he? Didn't he hit a sacrifice fly and get a run in? And he had a bad game.
But it's not 765 million.
Well, listen, we don't know what that's worth.
I
get it.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I get it too, and I'm not upset, and I'm getting a little impatient.
Where's Lars?
What?
Where's Lars?
What? What?
Oh my God! What'd you do to him?
Yeah, was that something? Did StreamYard die, or was that my side?
No, dude, you just bounced out. I mean,
you were gone. I was like, I'm talking to Joe, and for a second, I'm thinking about where's Lars? Because you
had a big error message on my
and
screen, and it bounced me out. I don't know if it was a StreamYard.
Sorry for the technical difficulties there, folks, but Lars just disappeared on us, and producer Joe couldn't find him.
Yeah, we got Brazoban until 2029. Absolutely, this guy is a beast. I love it.
Yeah, we have a good pitching staff. Okay, all the way from the coaching.
No,
to
wait.
the
Now you're going back and forth. Finish with the Soto story.
Okay, so the Soto thing.
Enough already. Enough. Yeah.
So the Soto thing. Let's just say that at the end of the year, let's look at the stats. Okay, and then you'll say that he did a good job for the Mets.
Exactly.
Because he's going to be up and down.
Last year, he got off to a slow start, and he carried the team 2/3 of the way.
Pretty much MVP. Okay, yeah. and that could happen with Soto at any given time.
I don't know his trends from because some players start slow. I don't know those trends with him, but what I do know is exactly what both of you guys are saying is that he's a great player. He's dealing with adversity he's probably never dealt with before. But he's also an intelligent player. He'll figure it out, and he will be Juan Soto.
I'm not worried about it at all. The only thing I'm worried about is the rest of the guys in that lineup, because you got guys like Vientos, Baty.
I just asked Google Gemini if Juan Soto had a history of starting slow. Yes, Juan Soto has a history of slow starts.
I remember when he was in San Diego, he started slow too that year. It is what it is. It's a long season. The guy is undoubtedly super, super talented and is a very intelligent batter. At the plate, he's super intelligent. Although those 2 strikeout caught looking yesterday was disgusting, but that happens to the best of them.
You've never seen 97, and you never will. Thank God. So don't worry about it.
I also don't get paid $1 billion, but.
He doesn't get paid $1 billion either. Only $765 million.
Oh, that's it. Plus the free suites, plus the free front row tickets, plus the free private jet. He gets paid $1 billion. Trust me.
Okay, but still,
he's going to be fine. I mean,
all right. Well, we need to worry about the other guys.
And be like, wow, we got a deal.
We got to worry about the other guys. Forget about Soto. Soto's going to be fine. Move on to the rest of the guys. Producer Joe said the guy starts off slow. So there you got it, folks. We gave you the news first, in case nobody told you. Soto always starts off slow.
Right.
So chill out and give him some slack. Start getting on guys like Tyrone, guys like Baty and Vientos and Alvarez, these young bucks that need to be steady.
Marte.
And Marte is not going to be a Met for much longer.
Why do we put him batting second? I mean,
he's trying to get. He's trying to use what he has, and Marte is a dependable guy. He's batted like 270, 280.
Baty would have been better at
80 more. I think Baty should be the second hitter because he's got some pop and he seems to be slapping the ball the other way because he did it the last 2 games. So that's what you want. You want your first hitter is a guy that's going to get on base. Your second hitter is a guy that's going to move him over. However he moves him over, it doesn't matter. Bunt, a hit to the opposite field, a home run, however it is, and then your third place hitter should be Soto, and then your fourth place hitter should be the polar bear. That's as simple a lineup as you can have. You can even put Nimmo batting second because Nimmo has a way of getting on base, and has a good eye.
You know,
and he's signed for the next 5 years, isn't he?
He is, but he's been painful this year to watch at the plate.
Well, something's got to help him. Don't you think fastball's coming in because they're scared that Soto's right behind them? That'll help him get on base. If he knows his fastball's coming, you can drive him the other way. You can pull him. He'll have a better chance of getting on base.
He has the capability. So somebody behind him with a little pop would help. Yes, I agree.
Would help him. Every batter in the major leagues would be helped by Juan Soto behind him.
Of course, but I think Nimmo has more capability than Los Rodriguez.
Wow, man, you guys are just taking turns.
Yeah, I think Streamio must be having issues. So, but what I was saying was I think Nimmo, probably with his experience, has more of the capability to thrive with somebody behind him than anybody else. I mean, of course it would help Vientos, of course it would help Baty, but Nimmo's that veteran presence, and if he had somebody like a Soto or a Pete behind him, I think he would thrive. I think it would really help the lineup.
But personally, you say that, but Nimmo spent like a whole season in the 2-hole with Pete behind him. I don't know that he would be consistently better. I think Nimmo is perfect for what he is. I don't feel like he's underperforming. You think he's underperforming?
I think this year so far he's underperforming. I mean, it's early. He has a chance to pick it up, but he's batting like 213 with like a 600-something OPS. I think he's better than that.
Who's that, Nimmo?
Yeah.
Nimmo is better. Nimmo should be batting no less than 270 every year.
Yes, I agree.
Especially with what he's supposed to be earning and what he's supposed to be, what type of player he's supposed to be. He should be at 270 with about 20 home runs every year. He's underperforming right now, but like I said, at the end of the year, if he ends up at 265 with 19 home runs, can't be too mad at him. That's who he is. That's
exactly perfect. I would love that. You kidding me?
So we just have to wait. The offense is in a slump, okay? Let's just say that. Now, that shouldn't mean that our defense should start sucking, because a lot of these games, there's been a few mistakes and a few errors. Now, the Lindor thing where he threw the ball back and he couldn't get the guy at second base, that's a little iffy, because it was a lot of mental errors. It was a tough play. But the Megill and the catcher issue with Torrens, that play should be a clean play. Megill shouldn't have taken that ball. He should have let Torrens handle it.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a problem. Our defense, and it was said by our general manager. They asked him, "What do you think we could be doing better?" The first thing that came out of his mouth was play better defense. So he's a defensive guy. There's going to be some changes.
Wait a second. We're talking about the hitting is starting off slow, and it's going to come around. Our pitching's been great. I looked it up. Without looking, where do you think the Mets fall on team batting average in the league? Out of 30 teams.
9, 10.
No, I think they're lower than that. I think they're like 15.
Oh. The 13th. They're in the top half. I mean, that's not terrible.
They're in the bottom half.
No, that's the top half.
Oh, the top half. I'm sorry. Yeah, top half. So they're at 13. Okay.
They're in the top half. They're not the White Sox are hitting 216 as a team. That's a team that's not hitting. Yeah.
Well, what's their average again? You said? I'm sorry.
246.
246. Okay.
And that is a slow start. Yeah. But it's not. It's not going to be.
It's not horrible. Yeah, that's a fair point.
And that's why I said earlier we're playing about league average. But we're so much better than that. And I think everybody's getting in a bit of an uproar over it because they expect us to be what our potential is, and we're just not doing that at the moment.
Because it's frustrating to see him bang into a double play,
constantly.
He's going to be hitting a home run. He's going to drive the ball, and
who's he? Who's he? Are you talking about the Mets or Soto? Oh, you're talking about Soto still.
There's going to be a moment in a season where, for like a good 3-week stretch, we're just going to tear it up.
Yes,
7 runs every other game.
Yes,
it's going to happen. But And then that's where the averages kind of start leveling out to what we should be. But until then, now that we're consistently not hitting that, it's frustrating. As a Met fan,
you should be very happy because you're 29-19 with that happening to you, with an inconsistent offense and some bad, shoddy defense, because it has been bad at times.
Right now.
You know, with 29-19. So that's not too bad, dude.
No, I know the Phillies took first, but they just so happen to heat up when we cool down.
But
it's just the way it is.
You know who I think needs to chill out? I think a certain team on the other side of New York, the Skankies, need to chill out. Dude. I mean, you guys are crying over Soto, destroying Soto, talking about Soto. He's taking private planes, by himself with nobody on. He doesn't like the team. He hates everybody. Guys, you had him 1 year. He came to you as basically a free agent in waiting. You knew that was happening. You let him go because you're the Skankies. You didn't sign him. You didn't give him all he wanted because you're the Skankies. You treated his family bad because you're the Skankies. So what did you guys want? Farace, you leave?
Here's what I see is the truth behind all of that, right? There's a new boss in town, and it's the New York Mets. Soto turned around. He picked the New York Mets because he knows our future is brighter. He knows our leadership is amazing, and he knows there's a lot more involved with the New York Mets where he can thrive, make money, and play some good baseball. The Yankees are butthurt because him choosing us is confirmation to them that there's a new boss in town. So they're just super insulted and upset. That whole, I get the first day he comes in there and they boo him and turn their backs.
That's great. It's rivalry, great. Fun.
But for 3 straight games, you're really, and those bleacher bums, it's always the same bums that are out there. And they just did it every single game. Get over it. It's, it's okay to have fun.
Move on.
Yeah, move on. Like I said, it's okay to have fun. If you want to boo, you pay to go to the game, you boo. It just, I don't necessarily believe that booing is right in every case. And in this particular case, it was right to a certain point, and then it just got completely stupid. Like every single at bat, every single run out to the right field. It's just move on. To your point, move.
It shows
emotional damage
they really are.
Exactly.
Okay? And speaking of petty, let's talk about
Michael K.
Michael K. How did you know I was going to say Michael K? Because Michael K said I was going to say Michael K because I do not like Michael K. He's an idiot, in my opinion. He might think I'm an idiot because I'm a nobody. But guess what, Michael K? You're an idiot.
Suck.
Okay, and you are supposed to be somebody.
I know producer a flea on his back. That's what he said about podcasters.
Producer Joe must love this guy, right?
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Michael K. I didn't care for him either way because I didn't pay no mind to him. He's getting so insulted and so upset because of the backlash of the stupid comments he's made that are coming from Met fandom and Met world, that he took it onto his own ESPN show and did like a 10-minute tirade complaining about Met podcasters and insulting them. So for me, the fact that the fact that he is this lion, as he calls himself, and took that much time off of his own nationally syndicated show to complain about Met podcasters, I think is hysterical. Keep it up, Nazis. Let's go.
Keep annoying him because obviously, supposedly he has everything going for him, but he's still annoyed by little schmucks like us. Okay, which is making him hot. It heats him up a little bit. So his little pasty head turns red. Okay,
yeah.
But whatever. Stay
lighten up, Francis.
Metsy fans, abuse this guy as much as you can. Every Mets fan should just abuse this guy. Regardless of that, we need to start abusing some of our offensive guys. We need to stop making them feel like they're going to end up in the minor leagues or they're going to be DFA'd or sent to the scrap heap. Because what are we going to do? We're going to start playing who's hot. That's what's going to happen, you know. All these guys like Alvarez, you're not performing, you're going to get less playing time. Baty, you're going to get less playing time. Vientos, you're going to get less playing time. You guys don't rate as much as you think. You're just basic babies in the league, you know? So Torres is taking away playing time from Alvarez because Alvarez is coming up trying to swing and hit everything, 700 feet.
It's called meritocracy. You get up there, you bat, you play good D, you get more games. That's the way it goes.
It's called just playing whoever's hot, man, and not worrying about the team and not worrying about the individual player. And I think Mendy's the type of guy that will do that, and he'll try to do that. I hope. But this, sometimes you have to give the special guys a little bit special treatment and maybe be a little bit tougher with the young guys. Don't let them forget that, you know what? This is your job. This is your career. This is something that you really have to focus on and not play around with. We have the talent there. And in the minor leagues, dude, there's guys just chomping at the bit. You know who I'm talking about, right? Guy just got promoted to AAA.
Sprout.
Mauricio Sprout is coming.
Oh, Mauricio is, I heard he's doing well. I haven't really looked. A lot of times when these guys start coming up, getting hot, I'll go on to the the MILB, the minor league day, and I'll take a look. But I haven't done that. Just haven't had the time. But from little things I'm reading here and there, headlines and stuff, I'm seeing Mauricio is playing well. Let him keep that up. And listen, these are good problems to have.
These are very good problems to have, and that's why I think guys like Marte, guys like Tylor, and I don't want to single him out, but because McNeil is part of that too. McNeil has slipped a lot, and he's getting paid good money to be basically a 300 hitter, which he hasn't been. So a guy like that, even though he's versatile and can play multiple positions, and will occasionally hit, has some pop. I mean, guy's a good player. You can't deny him that. You got to respect him. But in a sense, you got to perform too. The Mets have some kind of mission right now, dude. Their mission is to use whatever talent they have right now to win. Stop wasting time. Stop taking 5 to 10, 15 years to win a championship.
Right.
Got guys like Soto, you got Lindor, you got the polar bear, you got these young studly guys. You got to make them perform, right? I mean, that's the way I see it.
How about a trade for Jacob deGrom?
Jesus Christ.
I'm just messing with you.
I'm trying to think of something, normal, something nice. And here you bring up Jason. What's his name? Jason?
Jacob deGrom.
Oh, you mean the trader with the big T on his forehead? Yeah.
I mean, the one I won 2 Cy Youngs for us, and our ownership did nothing.
And he won nothing, and then he just left. Okay, he should have left. He should have left with this guy with Philadelphia. Zach Taylor, Zach, whatever his name is, Zach Yamama, whatever his name is. I don't even want to talk about him. Jacob deGrom. You're a traitor. Okay. No, don't say that name. That name is terrible. So is the other name, traitor. Let's not talk about him. But we got young guys coming up. Flowers, come on, man. You got to give it up to them.
Yeah, no. Listen. So back to what you were saying before with Mendy pulling the strings, making the right decisions. I think a lot of that is because Stearns is not inserting himself in that. I mean, I'm sure he does if he has to, but think about it. Even Sandy, we all love Sandy, right? But he inserted himself a little too much. Mets management, Mets ownership inserted themselves sometimes way too much in on-field decisions. Now, I don't know exactly what's going on, but it seems more like they're leaving that to the baseball people. They're the office people. Then there's the baseball people on the field. And in the past, our management people tried to become baseball people, and it just didn't work. And it seems like they're letting Mendy do his job. Right? What do you think?
Well, they are letting him do his job, but I think they're a close-knit unit. Let's just say that Stearns and Mendy are on the same wavelength, and they report everything back up to Cohen, and Cohen understands what's happening with the team. That's why he doesn't meddle as much as other owners might, because he's getting the information from Stearns. You got guys that are leading this team that are Met fans. Cohen is a Met fan. His wife is a Met fan. His wife's dad is a Met fan.
Stearns grew up a Met fan.
Stearns grew up a Met fan. You know, these guys, they have a little bit of love for the team, and when you have that little bit of love for the team as a child, as a fan, you're going to input more. You're going to try harder. So we seem to be in very good hands for now and the future. You know, in the front office and downstairs on the field, we have some young studs coming up. We have a good manager that could probably be. We were talking about that the last week. We need a manager to be with us for 10 or 15 years. You know, somebody that gives your franchise some roots and you know, like we had Casey. We started with Casey Stengel. That was our big thing, you know. And Gil Hodges. Gil Hodges would have been the guy. Gil Hodges would have been with us for 20 years. The guy had everything that Mendy seems to have. You know, he's got a good leadership and he relates well to the players. Now, Mendy wasn't a great player like Gil Hodges, but that's a different story. So, not talking about Gil Hodges, an ex Brooklyn Dodger coming over to manage the Mets, right? So who do we have this week? We have the Dodgers coming up tomorrow in LA. 3 games in LA. Now Farace always wants us to talk about these games because he's a degenerate gambler and he wants to place his bets. But let's talk about it this week because we kind of like it. So I'm thinking that you should tell me what you think is going to happen this weekend with the Dodgers.
It's going to be a tough series, right? One of the reasons why I said the win yesterday, if there's such a thing as an important win at this time of year, is gaining momentum. Having a little bit of that momentum, adding into the fact that we're going home, it really helps this Met team. But we're going up against some really good teams. First team up in line is the Los Angeles Trolley Dodgers. I mean, it's going to be rough. First game is Kershaw. I'm not sure who. Oh, let me look. They have Kershaw versus Canning. And then it's going to be Gonsolin versus Peterson. And then let me see if I can see game 3 here on my magic phone. Just make believe I'm not looking down at my phone. It's going to be Knack. So we have it's going to be Knack versus Senga. I think we have the pitching advantage this weekend. I really do think the Mets are going to giddy up, as Farace would like to say. They're going to giddy up a little bit these next 2 games. And I'm going to go bold. I'm going to say we're sweeping them.
Holy cheese, Louis. All right. So you think we're sweeping them. All right. Wow. You heard that. People, Farace, you heard that. Laura said sweep. Now, I'm going to go last. Baby. So bold. It is a bold prediction. Pretty good. Pretty bold there, Laris. Producer Joe, what do you think? You're still with us.
I am sorry.
Okay.
I'm having technical difficulties. I think a sweep is a bit bold, but I do think we have our best 3 going this weekend. I think we take 2 out of 3. We go in and take 2 out of 3 and start to feel good about ourselves, especially with the 6 games after that series. I don't know if you've looked that far ahead, but
we're gonna talk about that one.
All right.
We finish up with the Dodgers. So you don't get too happy. We're gonna have to talk about the bad stuff too. But
there is no bad stuff, Rodriguez.
I agree. You know what? You're right. There is no bad stuff because we're 29-19. I don't care what they say. You guys are right. We have the pitching advantage. Our pitchers have better ERAs, better win-loss records, and have done the job for us this year. The Dodgers may be hitting a little bit better, may have a little bit of a better offense than ours. So it might be a wash, but I'm thinking, I'm hoping, I'm feeling that we can do 2 out of 3. So I'm with producer Joe. Laris, you know what? We're 2/3 of the way there with you, bud. So hopefully one of our predictions comes out and we really feel good about ourselves. Now the next series is what? The White Sox. Right?
3 against the White Sox.
3 against the White Sox.
Oh, hey, Cowbell. Sorry, Rodriguez. You're going to be at the game.
Was that Cowbell?
This weekend? Yeah, he was just on, wasn't he?
Okay, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell on my screen.
Yeah, you're going to be at the game this weekend. I'll be looking for you on TV, bro.
Absolutely. We always look for Cowbell, dude. He's a good guy. And Pinman's there with them most of the time running
Where's
around.
Signman? I haven't seen him in a while.
I don't know. But all we need is a cowbell. Cowbell starts the cowbell going, and we win. That's all.
What does that mean,
So
Rodriguez? Que se va a hacer?
Que se va a hacer? What are you gonna do?
I can read it, but I don't understand it. That's the weird part.
Okay, well, that's good enough, dude. You're halfway there. So White Sox, what do you think, dude? Farace needs to place a bet.
I think we're going to come out of the White Sox series with a 7-game winning streak, and the Phillies back in second place where they belong. Woo! Simple as that.
Hey, you even did a little Ric Flair, huh? Okay, we're good with Ric Flair. Producer Joe, what do you think about the White Sox series? So another sweep by Flyers. The Mets haven't lost yet, according to Larry.
Yeah. I don't see them lightening up against the White Sox. I see them taking it to them. I see us sweeping that series. I see us sweeping that series relatively easily.
Okay, easily.
Well, I mean, no baseball game is easy, but I think that they're not on the same competitive level that we are.
I think the White Sox suck.
Yeah, they kind of do. but they don't suck as much as the Rockies that we get next.
I think the Rockies suck.
I know, but
we go from playing the team with best hitting in the majors to the bottom two.
Well, listen, it's good. It's good because if, God forbid, somebody puts a hex on us or something happens bad in LA and we come limping into the White Sox series, and we can feast a little bit on them and then take it to the Rockies and just take advantage of them in the nicest way of saying it. Just take advantage of them. So
bottom feed. You got a bottom feed.
You got a bottom feed. If you're a good team, you have to bottom feed it, because at 29-19, we should be taking teams like this White Sox and the Rockies and just sweeping them. Okay, and it's very possible that could happen if that our offense, it starts to hit a little bit, because our pitching after these 2 months, I think our pitching is what it is. I mean, I think we're pretty deep. We're pretty solid there, man. Mm-hmm. Offense, bullpen and starters, we're good with that if they stay the way they are. Our offense just needs to step up, man, and we can have a very successful next 3 series.
Here's a good indication to what our pitching is this year, right? I mean, we went up against let's say the Yankees, right? They have a really good offense, but we didn't pitch around Judge. Every team kind of pitches around Judge. We attacked him, and our staff did really well. And for them to do really well, I mean, as much as Met fans don't want to say it out loud, truth of the matter is Judge is probably the best hitter in baseball right now. And we attacked him and we shut him down. That's impressive.
He was hitting 418 coming into that series.
Listen, it's impressive. The way we shut him down, I don't care what anybody says. It's super impressive. And I'm proud of you, Mets.
Oh, look at that. Then giving the golden salute from Lars over there. They did a great job, bro. They did a great job. They were aggressive. Again, there's that word, aggressive. And if you're an aggressive pitcher, he has to figure out, the batter has to figure out what you're going to throw. It's that simple. And you have so many choices and so many spots to throw a pitch that you can either make him go out of the zone or still throw it in the zone with like about 16 to 30 spots that you can throw it to. So it's a hard thing. You should win most of the battles. And our pitching staff has been taught that. We're going to be aggressive. I love it. I love it. Our offense is going to be on fire soon, guys. I'm telling you, start feeling it. Start putting it in your head, Metsies. Start saying to yourself, our offense is going to do it. Lares, you need to do some kind of fuacata or something on these people so that they understand what's going on. Fuacata. Don't you want to fuacata people, Flores?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. I mean, right now I definitely want to do a couple different fuacatas, and especially one of them is going to have to be towards specific special DH pitcher guy. I forget his name. Yohai Satanis, whatever that guy is, in the Dodgers. Solani.
Gamblers Anonymous. What'd you say?
Yeah, right. Him. That's somebody I would like to Fuakata. I think the pitchers that's going up against us for the Dodgers already suck, so I don't want to waste the Fuakata power on them. And maybe I'll group that in with a Mookie Betts. Is he playing? He's not injured, right? Okay.
Doesn't matter.
I think it'll be a Soba Sonani and Fruki Mets. Whoever those guys are. You know, that's between me and my Fuakata power. We all know who I'm talking about. I want them to suck. I want them to choke. I want them to do nothing. I want a lot of K's out of them. Fuakata! Ruger agrees. Thank you, buddy. Good job.
Okay. All right. Listen, you know, he doesn't have a speaking part in this show. Otherwise, we got to pay him. So let's not pay him nothing. Fuakata, producer Joe. What do you got to say about the next week coming up? What are your last words here? Keith just Fuakata everybody. And I'm sure he's going to say something else after that. But
before Joe goes, can I just do a quick breaking news? I got a little breaking news.
What's your breaking news?
It's from Farace. He says the Mets are going to take 2 out of 3, F the Dodgers and their fans, and especially Tommy Lasorda.
Yeah. You know what? I saw that too. A little bird told me that little message. I didn't want to say F Tommy Lasorda. The guy's dead, okay? And he was pretty funny. But you know what? He's a Dodger.
Dead. You know, he's dead, and give him credit where it's due. He gave us Piazza. Come on. So
he did give us Piazza. If it wasn't for Tommy Lasorda, we would never have Piazza.
Exactly. So I give him a little
I'm only relaying Farace's words, and Farace's my baby, so I agree with him.
Okay. That got a little creepy. All right, so before we finish the show, let's let producer Joe say a few last words.
Sure.
Then you can say your last word. Don't do it. Then you can say, don't do it. Then you can say something, and then we'll be gone. Producer Joe, go ahead.
Just let's go, Mets. It's a fun season. It's been a rough week. You're not going to steamroll the whole season, so relax. Everything is fine. The hitting is going to come around. The pitching is extremely optimistic. So yeah, let's go, Mets. That's it.
That's it. All right, Lawrence, what do you got to say? What do you got to say?
Closing statement is fuck. I should have banged my desk. Ruger was going to get mad. I knew it. Fuakata to those Dodger hitters.
You still
specifically Calabanazis and Fruki Mets. They need to just suck this weekend. Let's go, Mets.
You need to stop.
And I want to give a little extra shout out to the Mets offense. I believe in you guys. Let's go, baby. Let's shut it down. Let's go, Mets.
All right. So guys, have a lot of fun watching your Mets. You have an exciting team. You have a fun team to watch. Everybody seems to like each other. Everybody seems to be pulling for each other. It's a fun team. It's a quality team. All right. And we need to go, but I'm going to say, let's go, Mets. Take us out, producer Joe.
Put up the bonus.